What is up, guys? It's Connor here from Geek on Your Face, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. It's going to be the start of a series that I thought up of. It's going to be a Yugioh Millennium Duels series, obviously, and it's going to be focusing on just general tips and tricks to help you guys build better decks and get cards faster. But today, for episode 1, we're going to be focusing on what I think is probably one of the most fundamental and important parts of building a deck, which is going to help you guys succeed a lot. And that's going to be your card numbers, like how many cards you have in your deck and what kinds of cards you have in your deck, how many to put in your deck, all that sort of stuff. Because that's really the first place I see a lot of people online going wrong. They have like 60 cards in their decks because they just want to fill up and get all their awesome cards that they see. And I'm going to say right off the bat that unless you have a Lightsworn deck, you should not have over 40 cards. That's the minimum. You should always have just the minimum amount, 40 cards. Lightsworn, obviously you need more to mill through the deck because their effects, but at the most you want to have like 42, 43. And the reason that this is because if you have less cards in your deck overall, you have a greater chance of pulling a card that would help you out of any situation that you're currently in, if you've built your deck properly, that is. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of times when people have a whole bunch of cards in their deck, they're just going to be pulling garbage over and over again that doesn't help them in the situation that they're in right then. And that's where you really start to fall into the rut and you can't get back in a duel. So yeah, first tip, it's the golden rule, I would say, only have 40 cards in the deck. That's the most fundamental, basic thing I can say, only 40 cards. Now, for the second thing that goes hand in hand with that, you want to have copies of the same card that fit well into your deck, I would say. And that's a little bit hard when you're starting out in the game. You can see I have all 6,004 cards unlocked. I've spent a fair amount of time, so I can have, 3 copies of one card that fit well into the deck, as you can see. And even though you're not going to have that option right off the bat, always having copies of cards makes it more likely for you to pull them and increases your odds of pulling them, which is what you want in any deck. Now, you can see here I have 2 polymerizations in my deck with 40 cards. That means that I have 2 in 40 and then further down a 1 in 20 chance of pulling a polymerization out of any card that I draw in my deck. Now you can see, because of that, when I'm in a situation that I really need it, instead of having 60 cards and I have like a 1 in 30 chance of pulling polymerization, it really helps out and makes a big difference. Now you can see if you use cards like Pot of Duality 2, that increases your odds of pulling it. Stuff like that is also really important. That you need to, focus on support cards for your deck. This is just a little side note to the second tip of copy cards in there. But you really want cards that support other cards in your deck. That's really important. And then you can see over here, Fusion Gate, it's basically polymerization. So if you put that together, I have a 4 in 40 chance going down, 2 in 20, 1 in 10 chance of pulling any card in my deck that lets me Fusion Summon, which is obviously paramount to this kind of a deck. And that's really going to be it for the first episode. I really want to focus on what you need to have a successful deck, and that is going to be the amount of cards you put in. 40. That is really what you should be aiming for every single time. When you're getting up to like 38 cards, you should be really racking your brain, what should I put in next? And then it should be a hard decision, right? You're not up at like 45 cards, like wanting more. Only 40 cards. 42, 43 at the most. And then you also want to have redundancies in the deck that support your deck. So you see I have Polymerization, helps me Fusion Summon. I also have Fusion Gate, helps me Fusion Summon. Fusion Recovery helps me get a Polymerization and a Fusion Material Monster back into my hand. Redundancies are key, so that even if you don't pull a Polymerization, you could pull a Fusion Gate that would help you out, or you could pull a Fusion Recovery that would help you out. Anything that you can possibly get on your draw will help you out. That's what you want to have in a deck. It's not like, oh, I really hope I get this in my draw. It's whatever I draw will help me out in this next situation. But yeah, that's going to be it for the first episode. Second episode, I think we're going to be going over combos and really simple ones that you guys can pull off to help increase your lead in the duel and start gaining ground. putting your opponent at a disadvantage, all that kind of stuff. That's what we'll be going over next time. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the first episode. If you did, leave it a like and subscribe if you want to see more, because I'm going to be doing a whole lot of these tips and tricks videos, so I hope you guys like them. And I will see you next time. Bye.